Hi. Hi there. My name is Granny Rocks, otherwise known as Beth Green. Actually, it's Beth Green, otherwise known as Granny Rocks. And this is the Granny Rock Show. And this is...
Here's James Maynard, otherwise known as Sweet Baby James. I'm handling the chat tonight, so please chat with us. I'll be monitoring the chats and passing them on to Beth, and Beth can talk to you directly.
And if you're not here live, put your comments in the chat thing and I'll respond later. But if you are live, I can talk to you right here and now. So, tonight, I think I have a very interesting topic. But of course, I always think I have an interesting topic. And the topic is Thanksgiving, why it's sometimes hard to be grateful.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of giving a deeper look into the whole gratitude thing instead of just saying, oh, let's be grateful, it's Thanksgiving and all of that stuff. So I hope that this is very helpful. But before I get into this, Sweet Baby James is going to tell you about our show.
Well, you have come to the Granny Rock Show, which Beth mentioned, and this happens every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, and it's our opportunity to experience Beth's wit, her wisdom, and her uncommon sense. So thanks for joining us, and over to you, Beth.
Okay, so the topic is Thanksgiving. You know, we live in the U.S., and tomorrow is the beginning of Thanksgiving and the end of Thanksgiving. Actually, it's a one-day holiday, and
That's right.
we
We already have a comment. Kay says, good night, Beth and James, and sends a heart of love.
Good night,
Night,
Kay. It's
Kay.
wonderful to see you. Thank you for coming. It's always nice to see people. Oh, it looks like
and then we
there's
have another one, Tracy. She says, I am grateful for you, and sends caring and love. Same back at you. We're grateful
And
for
I'm
you
grateful
too,
for
Tracy.
you too, Tracy. Very grateful. I'm grateful for all of our audience,
And
honestly.
then another comment, Kay says, at work listening.
I love that. You know, you're making the best of it. I just love that. Thank
Yeah.
you, Kay, for joining us. So, have you ever noticed that sometimes it's hard to express or even feel gratitude?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too. I have had moments where it's like, I know I should feel grateful, but I don't feel grateful. And also, and equally painful, sometimes you think somebody should be grateful to me for something and they're not. How upsetting is that?
And Galena says, applause and hello.
Hello, Galina. Thank you for coming. So,
And she also sends a big heart of love.
we'll take it.
Thank you, Galena.
We are always grateful for love.
Oh, and she also sends flowers.
Oh,
A
well.
whole bouquet of flowers. Thank you, Galena.
Good. And you know, the best thing about those flowers is they don't smell, and I'm not allergic to them. So, because they're on the internet.
And they last forever.
And they last forever. So, you know, many of us were brought up with say thank you, say thank you, say thank you to the man, say thank you,
Say a prayer of thanks.
yeah, oh yeah, like in the religious
And of course,
sense.
at Thanksgiving dinner, it's obligatory to be thankful
Very
for your
thankful.
blessings.
Thank you, thank
Yeah.
you. So what's wrong with that? Doesn't that sound good? Well, for a lot of us, the parents are trying to get us to express thanks because they look like bad parents if they haven't trained us. Like, what's the matter with you? Haven't you taught your children to say thank you and please?
And be grateful for all their parents have done for them.
And be grateful. Yes, indeed.
Oh, Kay wishes us a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank
and
you.
a happy Thanksgiving to you, too.
Happy Thanksgiving.
It's a holiday.
Well, I want to get into that. First of all, we may be, let's say, Uncle Schmendrick has given us a Christmas present or, brought us something. And we're supposed to go, thank you, Uncle Schmendrick. Thank you. Right. Now, how do you know that Uncle Schmendrick isn't raping that child in the back room?
Oh, wow.
But that child is supposed to say thank you. Nobody's asking the child if she or he is being
Molested. And there's another hi there from Elizabeth who sends love also. Back at you, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you for the hi. So there are times when people are being abused and they're being forced to say thank you. Thank you to the parent. Let's say the father does something and he beats the children when you're not looking. Or the mother does it, or the sister or something, right? And you don't have a clue as to why that child is resenting, right?
Right.
So you say, what's wrong with that child? You're not grateful, right? And
Right.
so a lot of times we ignore that there's something going wrong. We don't say, gee, I wonder why that child isn't showing gratitude. It's just like, you're a bad child, you're bad. Or your brother is kicking you under the table or something like that, right?
I'd like to add something here too, if I may. We talk a lot about the ego, and I notice in my ego, whatever I get is never enough. Particularly as a child growing up, there's no amount of attention that's ever enough. No amount of love. In fact, in relationships, there's no amount of validation that is ever enough.
That's
I
absolutely
want more
true.
and more and more.
That is absolutely true. And I'm going to get into the ego in a minute, so that's a good point. And by the way, I want to tell you something, just in case you're curious. I do not share the show before the show with Sweet Baby Jane. He doesn't know what I'm going to say.
That's
A
true.
lot of times, I have no idea what I'm going to say either. So how could I tell him? But also, I just like the element of surprise and spontaneity. And so sometimes I just talk totally off the cuff. Tonight, I wrote down some notes. For some reason, I felt the need to do that. But so no, I don't tell Sweet Baby. The only thing he gets is the title of the show.
That's right.
And so do you. So there it is. So let's be spontaneous and creative and all of that. So this in relation to what I was just talking about and what you are talking about, it's not always ego. Sometimes people give us something, but it's not the right thing, or it really isn't enough. Maybe we want love and we're getting toys, and it kind of like, I want love, I want love, I want love. And so we're not expressing gratitude because we honestly don't feel it.
Well, when I was a kid, we took it for granted that if they gave us toys, that must mean they loved us.
I doubt that, James.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't
That
think
didn't really
so.
work.
No, that didn't really work. So a lot of times, you're not getting what you really need. Let's say you're getting fancy clothes, but you're not getting good food.
Oh.
Maybe you're not getting the right kind of education. Maybe you're not getting the right kind of encouragement. And we have another.
Oh, and Nancy says, good evening. Happy to join you again tonight.
Good, Nancy.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
And
we
she
love
sends
it. We love
a
it.
yellow heart of friendship and goodwill.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you, Nancy.
So, Nancy, we're talking about the reason that sometimes, like we're talking about kids, but it's also for older people, we don't show gratitude because we don't really feel it, because we're getting something we don't need and that people think we should be grateful for, but we're not getting what we do need. So, there are other reasons, though, that I want to get into that are maybe less obvious.
Tell us more.
Like, I really want piano. I'm a boy and I want ballet lessons, and I'm put in Little League, and we should be grateful that our parents are putting us in Little League, but actually we're not grateful because we don't want to be in Little League. We want to be playing, doing the ballet. So now I want to look at gratitude itself. Gratitude says, yeah, I embrace what you're giving me, and I'm so grateful, and I'm so thankful. So let's say they are giving you something you need or you really want. And so why wouldn't you show gratitude? And this is not just what we do to others, but also what others do to us. It's like, that is an ungrateful child. That child is so ungrateful. Or my husband is so ungrateful. I make him dinner every night, or blah, 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 blah. So, we've already discussed maybe you don't love the guy and he's not grateful because he doesn't feel loved.
And yes, we have another one from Judith. Wishing you all a wonderful Turkey Day.
Thank you. And
Thank
that
you.
is Judy to us.
Oh, Judy.
She likes to be called Judy.
Judy.
Judy. Okay. So one thing that happens with being grateful, if you express it, is suddenly we feel obligated.
Ooh.
If I acknowledge that you've done something, you've saved my life, let's say. Now I'm obligated forever because you saved my life. And that's a fact, that happens. And then suddenly it's like you're not free anymore because now you're obliged to do something for that person. And by the way, I'm going to tell you what I think we can do about this.
But first, we have a couple of more comments.
Yay.
Island says, love to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Island. Love to you too.
Thank you.
And Galena says, I wish you a good and beautiful day, dear lady, and your family. And she sends lots of hearts of love.
Thank you. I'm not now obligated to Galena. So let's say our fans say, oh, thank you for that show, and now I feel obligated to come back and do another show. Or I feel obligated to talk about something that you want to hear. There's that sense all of a sudden that I'm no longer free because I am obligated. And we really see this a lot with parents and children.
And Judy has another comment. She says, Beth, good memory.
Oh, yeah, about the Judy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Thank you. I have moments of memory, but just moments. You just don't know. So be grateful that I remember tonight, because you just don't know when I'm going to remember, when I'm not going to remember. So
she did show gratitude, actually.
Oh,
2
yes,
exclamation marks.
She did.
And a joyous face.
So do you see what I'm saying? It's like all of a sudden I am obliged to you to take care of you, or to praise you, or to make you feel better, or to bring you chicken soup, or something or other, because I feel obligated. Well, I may not want to be obligated to you. And so inside me, I really don't want to even feel grateful. Sometimes what you've done for me is really big, like saved my life, for example. Now I could be totally in your debt. And I don't want to be in your debt because I want to be free. Got it?
I have another reason why people are often not grateful for their lives. We all tend to carry a lot of discontent about our lives.
We do.
And it's hard to be grateful
To
when
swallow.
you're feeling discontented.
To swallow that gratitude when you really feel resentful about your life in general.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful, for instance, that we don't have COVID right now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to get to another reason that we can be having trouble with gratitude. If I am grateful to you for doing something for me, that implies, God forbid, I can't do it myself.
Ooh.
That means
That's
I'm
a wound to your pride.
wound to the pride. I am weak. So if I show that I'm grateful, instead of pretending that it's no big deal, right? Well, it's no big deal, right? So if I admit that I'm weak and I can't take care of something or I can't do it for myself, then what does that mean? That means that someone may take advantage of me because I am weak. Right? I
Ooh.
can't do this myself. So let's say I'm in a wheelchair and I need you to get me something because I'm too weak to roll myself across the room. So it's like, see, I don't want to feel vulnerable. We feel vulnerable when we can't do things for ourselves. The world is going to see our weakness. So if I say, oh my God, that was so awesome, I couldn't do that myself, so everybody knows he or she or they can't do this themselves. Oh, they're going to take advantage of me now.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're going to get, oh, yes, they're going to leave me all their money in their will because
Oh, right.
they needed me. And now it's not just the obligation, but it's also that I am, that someone will take advantage of me and I'll have to do something for them, or that they'll hurt me or they'll knock me over. It's like, oh, I want to say I could roll over to the other side of the room myself, but I don't have the upper body strength. So that means everybody's going to know I don't have upper body strength. Now, some people have electric wheelchairs, right? But I've been in some that when in the days when I was in a wheelchair, that I couldn't do it myself, and so I feel so vulnerable. Like someone is going to push me over. Some idiot is going to push my wheelchair. I'm just using that as an example. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Or grab your purse.
Or grab my purse because I can't fight them off. So there is that fear. Now, there's another thing. I don't want to be grateful because I will be dependent on you with something you've done.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you won't want to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm feeling dependent. Maybe you won't want to do it again. Maybe you won't have the means to do it again. Maybe somebody will stop you from doing it again. Now I'm so dependent on you. I don't like that. I don't want to be dependent because that means that it can be taken away. You know what I'm saying? Just like, so I covered up. I don't want to admit how dependent I am. And of course, the fact is, we're all like that. We're all dependent. Now, do you notice that I'm using my iPad tonight? First time, because I felt the need to write down some notes tonight. So I did it, right? I'm dependent on it works, it's fine. It's just that I can't see very well. Okay. So somebody may not want to show you gratitude for the same reason. The kids don't want to show gratitude to you because then they feel obligated to do what you want. You may dominate them if they admit how dependent they are. It's like, oh, I can do everything myself, right? And then you can't tell me what to do, right? Or they feel ashamed for how much they need you and how many times they've screwed up, right? So they're not going to show a whole lot of gratitude because it's painful, right? And then someone may not show gratitude to you because you might want something in exchange. Oh, yes, your father and I sent you to college, and now you need to support us in our old age.
Mm-hmm.
Or,
I did you a favor. Now you owe me a favor.
that's right. That's just the way it is, right? And now, not only do you have to support us in our old age, but you've got to take a good job that's going to make the money that's going to support us in our old age.
Oh,
And I
right.
know exactly what kind of job you should do. I'm sending you to school. I'm going to tell you what I want you to do. Stuff like that happens. So now, so what I'd like to get to now in this part of the show is what are we going to do in order to overcome some of these negative feelings about
Mm-hmm.
gratitude?
Mm-hmm.
So First of all, we have to eliminate obligation. Now, how do we eliminate obligation? You're doing, I see you sweating. I see you working hard. I see you taking two jobs in order to keep me in food. So, how am I not going to feel obligated to you? Well, here is an attitude change. Now, you may feel offended by this, but this is what comes to me. If I take the attitude that this is meant to be, it's I'm supposed to go to school. I'm appreciative of what you're doing, but I'm not obligated to you because this is part of what is meant to come to me so that I can be developed as a person, and that the best thing that I can do is to use the resources that are coming to me for the highest good. And that doesn't necessarily mean doing what you want. So, for instance, let's say your parents have sent you to medical school and they've, sold their house or they've mortgaged themselves or whatever it is. Maybe I feel that the highest good is for me to become a doctor who works for a clinic and doesn't charge much, and doesn't set you up in Beverly Hills, or doesn't make you whatever. Or maybe that's what's for the highest good of all. So you say, oh, I was meant to become a doctor or a nurse or a pianist or a clerk or something. I was meant to do this because that is a gift that I have, and that gift can help everybody. It takes it out of that personal obligation, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not even that I am now obligated to the universe because it sent me to school. It's that I have gotten these things in order to cultivate something that is going to be beneficial, that I believe is beneficial. And it could just be a carpenter, that does beautiful things or builds things that people need, like ramps and stuff like that. So that's the first thing. Eliminate obligation. Just say this was meant to be. Now, that is not the same as entitlement. Entitlement says, you should send me to. You have to give me those jeans. You have to provide me with a day at the spa. You have to let me go drinking and womanizing because I'm entitled to do this. I'm so tired. I'm working so hard, right? That entitlement has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being motivated to do what is for the highest good of all, to do something good for people. And that really promotes your own self-realization as well. So that is not entitlement. But it does feel like, yes, I have a gift, and you're allowing me to cultivate it, and that's a wonderful thing. Now, another thing that we can do is release judgment about weakness. Okay, I can't do this myself, so that means that in this respect I'm weak. So what? So what if you're weak in that way? Everybody's weak in a way, or two, or 10, or 100, or thousands of ways that we're weak. So what? So what? So what? So what? You say, but someone's going to take advantage of me. But supposing I don't feel that way. Supposing I just say, thank you. How lovely. I couldn't do that myself. That's why God made other people, so that there's no reason to criticize ourselves or judge ourselves for being weak. And we have.
Yes, we have a comment from Don.
Hello,
who
Don.
says, Happy Thanksgiving, have a wonderful day, and sends a heart of love. Thank you, Don.
You. By the way, Thanksgiving, which is tomorrow, is going to be a day that I play the piano. Beth Green's magical piano improvisations, and I show my gratitude to my wonderful audience by playing the piano,
As a gift of your gifts.
a gift of my gifts. So my mother sent me to a piano teacher when I was a little girl, and I'm paying her back by playing the piano for you. So anyway, you see what I mean about releasing judgment about weakness? If we say, oh, weakness, but see, we're afraid. Again, the judgment says, oh, if I'm seen as weak, someone will take advantage of me. So if I say, I'm not weak, I just need this,
Mm-hmm.
and then say, I need this, you need that, we all need something from one another, no judgment and no fear. You just don't even think about it. And see, this is perhaps the most important point of all. I have to let go of the fear that whatever I need and that I'm grateful for will not be available in the future. Maybe you won't have it for me. Maybe my parents won't have it for me. Maybe my boyfriend won't have it for me. But if I just go into a state of relaxation and say, if it's meant to be, I will get what I need in that respect. And then I'm not living in fear. And I won't have to be afraid to acknowledge how much I need it, how much I want it, how much you're doing for me. See? You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
It's a complete shift in our perspective to a state of relaxation and embracing, because I want to say what gratitude is the appreciation of the value of something that I receive.
Mm-hmm.
See, did you hear anything about obligation or weakness or can't or any of that? No, it's the appreciation of something that I have received, the value of something I've received. And that is the kind of gratitude and thanks I want to carry with me every day of my life. Appreciation of everything that I have and that I receive. Even though I may also be missing a whole bunch of stuff and want those things, but at least I can focus on, yes, I really appreciate this. It may be cold in the house, but I have a heater on me. I appreciate that. So we come back every single Wednesday night at 6:30 for Granny Rocks. So come back next week at 6:30 p.m. if you want to come on live and you want to talk. And please like the show. Please love the show. Please share this show as a Thanksgiving gift to everybody you know, and help them also to feel some compassion for the people. You know, sometimes when our kids are ungrateful or somebody isn't grateful, it's because they are either afraid we're going to ask something from them that they really shouldn't be giving, or that it's going to make them look weak or whatever. And that can happen. So we can have compassion for the people who don't show us gratitude either. And we can also be grateful to those who do. So we will be back next Wednesday as usual, and every Thursday night at 7 p.m. I will gratefully play the piano because I'm grateful for my audience. And I want to thank my audience and say how much I appreciate you, so that even if you disappear tomorrow and I never see you again, you've already given me something of value. So that's all I have to say for the moment.
Yes.
So thank you so much for joining us
Yes,
tonight.
thank you very much. It's wonderful to have you with us.
I hope this, and please share this program with others. Facebook is no longer, for some reason, it's not sending my videos out, any of them, for the last couple of weeks. And I don't know why, but there it is. So, but I'm going to be grateful to you who come and be in allowance and just relaxed about the whole thing. So I have to go because we have a group right now.
Yes, indeed.
So
bye-bye for now.
And remember,
enjoy.
I will answer your comments after the show if I haven't talked to you live. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. Lots of love, gratitude. Bye-bye.
There's lots of love bubbles coming up as we
Oh,
leave.
Thank
Mhm.
you. Thank you.